Since 1973, Tattoo Charlie's has been an established body modification studio in Kentucky, featuring world-renowned artists and piercers, currently with locations on Preston Highway and in Lexington, a staple point in the tattoo community. Learn more at tattoocharlies.com. Set up your appointment today at 7904 Preston Highway. Our tattoos are done while you wait.
Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue, and I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel, anything you could possibly want, we're going to have it for you. Mom's is, and always will be, Louisville's music store.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at maxwellshouseofmusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums.
We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I am your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now, let's get this show on the road. What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to the Metal Forge. I'm your host, Mark Jackson. It's Friday, November the 6th. And today I have on the show Steve Forbes from Kentucky death metal band Created to Kill. And he is an awesome fucking dude, awesome cat to talk to. Hopefully you all enjoy it. I know you will, because hey, it's fucking metal, right? Anyways, I'm going to keep this short and sweet today. And I know I always say that and then I drag on for like fucking 10 minutes or some shit, but not today. It's been increasingly a hard year. Okay, for so many people, myself included. And part of the way that's been keeping me sane and everything with work life and home life and all this other crazy shit is this show. And I am indebted to you guys. And thank you so much for your listens. Thank you to all of the people that I have been able to feature on the show. From Tony Dolan to Chris Black to Rygar, Deb from Lady Beast, Vanek, Trevor William Church, Throne of Iron, Wraith, all of these fucking awesome people. Check their episodes out in the archives. You can subscribe and see all of that. And thank you to all of them. And you, mostly you, for listening to the show. I appreciate you. I love you guys. I do want to thank the people who have made this possible for me, which are going to be the sponsors, which is Mom's Music and Maxwell's House of Music in the Louisville, Kentucky, Jeffersonville, Indiana area. Jeff, Mark, Brooks, Bobby, Mike, Howard, Bert, JP, thank you guys so fucking much. Go buy gear from them. It's online. It's in store. If you have anything that you want to get from them, call them, email them. They'll get it for you. Also, I want to thank Buddy and the crew at Tattoo Charlie's in Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky. Fucking awesome cats. They did my first tattoo. I need to go back and get another one from them because they do top quality work. Go buy gear, go buy a tattoo, and listen to the Metal Forge and Womp Rant podcast and the Wrestling Steve show. Those are awesome fucking people that I would not plug them if I did not, believe in what they did. So seriously, all of them, thank you so much. And last, but definitely not least, the people who listen to this show weekly and the Patreon subscribers. You guys definitely make this show what it is. I appreciate every last one of you. And with the Patreon subscribers, yeah, I don't make really anything off of that. It's just a little bit of cash here and there to afford, like a new windscreen or, just even a new cable from time to time. Check out patreon.com/metalforgeradio. Send a like, send a share, subscribe. And speaking of subscriptions and smashing that button, we've just hit over 3,000 likes on the Facebook page this week. Holy fucking shit. That is awesome. So between all platforms there, we're over 3,500 followers. Strong, to the top, power metal, fucking awesomeness. Thank you all so much. I'm going to get into some Kentucky death metal here with Created to Kill. Join me as we go into the frozen tomb. All right, metalheads, I am being joined on the line right now with Steve Forbes from Created to Kill. Steve, Kentucky death metal awesomeness. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Dude, splendid. As by the time we record this, and I think everybody knows that this is a pre-recorded show for the most part, that we're waiting in open arms to find out about the election. So when this airs, it'll be the election will have been old news at that point. So
yeah.
So tell everybody out there about Created to Kill.
Created to Kill started about I don't know how many years ago, about 2004.
So about 16 years ago.
Yeah. It was being able with a drum machine. And we did that for about 4 years, and then we played a bunch of shows with this band called Solidification. Their guitarist wanted to start playing drums, so he started playing drums for us, and he's been with us ever since. And we had several lineup changes over the years, done several nationwide tours, a buttload of festivals all over the whole country.
Right. So you all have kind of been around for a long time at this point, and granted, with different lineup changes, you've still kept the same pretty close idea to what Created to Kill is.
Yeah. It's basically just your straight death metal, old school, out of the 90s sound. We try to stick to that.
Right on. Well, I mean, I think geographical area does seem to have a little bit of at least in the thrash scene and traditional heavy metal scenes. How does that work with death metal? Does it have its own sort of sect of like when you got Florida death metal that sounds a certain way, or Northeast like Boston, Maryland, stuff like that? They have their own sound as well.
Kind of. Nowadays, it's kind of like it's all kind of mixed everywhere anymore. I don't know how you would describe Kentucky death metal compared to otherwhere. It's kind of.
I think a lot of Kentucky stuff has a little bit of the sludge mixed in with it, kind of like the Doom style stuff.
Yeah, certain bands do. We don't have a whole lot of that, but some other bands do.
Right on. So tell me a little bit about the writing process. I mean, everybody, for the most part, is from the same area here.
Well, kind of. Our drummer, he lives in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, wow.
So he's a little far off. And our bass player lives in Lexington, and our singer lives in Versailles, and I'm in Lawrenceburg. So we're all, the three of us are within, 30 miles of each other. We've done a lot of stuff, mostly like as far as like the writing process, we do it a whole lot of emailing and texting and practicing on our own. We have like jam spots in Lawrenceburg, Lexington, and Dayton.
Wow.
So we kind of just rotate around.
So practice in Dayton this day, and practice in Lawrenceburg on this day, kind of thing.
Well, it just kind of depends on what we've got going on. Like if we're playing a show up north, we'll practice in Dayton and then head to the show, or down this way, vice versa. And individually we go to each other's houses, and jam together too while we're writing.
Right on.
But,
so is it pretty much like a mixed bag of writing? Do you get an email or a text from the drummer with a beat and it says, "Hey, put something to this," or vice versa?
Well, the majority is me sending riffs to, like, I'll send a basic song of riffs to email to my drummer, and Paul, and he'll go and put it all what he kind of thinks how he kind of wants it. He would put it together, and then after he messes with it for a while, then we'll get together and work on it, work out all the kinks together. And in a jam spot,
right?
And it's like lyrics. As far as lyrics, where we all just like text each other little paragraphs we come up with, and mostly me, I'll go and like put them all together and rearrange them. And Paul, too, he kind of proofreads after I get done with it.
Awesome. So it looks like here you have quite a few demos / EPs out, but you've got a couple of full lengths. You've got Worship or Die, and you've got Death's Construction.
Yeah.
And it looks like you've got like a live album and live video and such like that. What's next?
What's next? Right now we're trying to write another full length. We've been working on it for several years now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a slow process. Especially with Paul, he's in two other bands also. He's also playing drums for Necrotic Disgorgement out of Columbus, Ohio, and he plays guitar still for Solidification. Solidification is recording right now.
I'm seeing that on the Metal Archives page here, and It looks like you had played for Solidification live.
Yeah. Back in 2012, there was they had some shows booked. The Las Vegas Death Fest they were supposed to play. Their drummer quit on them, so Paul was going to drum for them, and I was playing guitar. I learned all their their sets, just to fill in.
Oh wow, so you actually got to play Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
that's killer.
Yeah, Created Tequila has played it also two different times,
Holy
2005 and 2010.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome. So why music?
Why music?
Yeah, I mean, what draws
everything.
you to music?
Well, it all started when I was a little kid, hearing Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Van Halen, all that stuff on the radio. And I always wanted to play drums for years. And I got to be about 13, I think. I begged my parents for drums, and they never would commit to buying me some. My next door neighbor told me, he's like, I'll sell you this guitar if you want it. I was like, all right. So he sold me an electric guitar, and my grandparents ended up buying me an amp, and I've just been jamming ever since.
And then it was over. And then you realized, holy shit.
Yeah. I tried for years and years in this little town to try to get, some people together in this town, just little people around here to, people I went to high school with and stuff to start a band. We jammed a little, did cover songs and stuff like that, but nothing ever really got started.
Well, I think in a small town, when you're close to a bigger city, and I'm not, whether you're close to like in the geographical area like Lexington or Louisville or anything like that, I think you almost have to go to those places. Because where I'm at, I could jam with people from my hometown for sure, but the chances of actually putting together something that's long lasting out of there is probably slim to none.
Yeah. Well, MySpace is what opened us up to meet each other. Other than the singer, the singer I met through my wife, she worked with him, and we kind of started something, a little bit, just me and him. But once I got onto MySpace, I met, a lot more people. That's how me and Paul met, and the guy that programmed our drums, I met him through MySpace.
Right on. And Abe actually played bass for a while in the band as well.
Yeah. We had a bass player when we started, and he ended up quitting, and we never could find anybody else. So we had these drum machine beats. So Abe was like, "The heck with it! I used to play bass. I'll just start playing bass and singing." And he did good, for a while, and we started getting a lot more technical, with the second album, Death Construction. So he was we brought in Paul's twin brother, Phil. He played bass for us on Death Construction and all our touring and stuff until I want to say 2017 or 16. And Phil got to be where he was in
49,000 bands.
Yeah. So he was just like, I'm going to step down, and let y'all find somebody else if you can.
Right, because I know he's played in Coat Hanger Abortion, Heinous Killings, so like...
Yeah, Lost of the K.
Oh, yeah. So, like, and actually I'm going to click on his link here. Yeah, he's still in like 7 bands.
Yeah, he's still in a lot. And he's always available for us, to fill in if we really need him. But
fill in.
Yeah. Dr. Feelgood.
Yep.
But I'd known Mike Minton for a while, and we run into each other at a Striper show in Louisville, and we got to talking. And he started out just filling in for us on bass, and he just eventually joined full time.
Right on.
And he's still playing with Succumb to Demise.
Right, and they've been out for a long time too, over a decade.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And it's just like that. It's just like you find people that are willing to do it.
Yeah.
And you make it work, which is awesome. There are so many more bands that do that now, that because you don't have to be stuck to I can't find a drummer, or I can't find a bass player, or whatever. With the internet, it's all relative at this point. You can jam with somebody in Fort Wayne, Indiana, or Nottingham.
Yeah.
You could do that and send things almost instantaneous through email or text or anything like that, which is super cool. I've always been intrigued by it.
Yeah. Anything like we record substantial, like an album, we actually get together and go somewhere.
Right on. All right, Steve, hang out for a second, and I'm going to take a real quick break. Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge this week. I really appreciate every last one of you that listens. But before I go any further, I do want to tell you that we do have a Patreon page here, and there's 3 tiers. There's the Down and Dirty $1 tier. It's just $1. Hey, you're not going to miss $1. Nobody does. Then there's the $5 Showstoppers tier, which you get a patch, stickers, whatever we have that's in that price range. And then there's the $20 a month Master, where you can get a t-shirt, any size, any color of the Metal Forge logo. Fuck yeah, that's awesome stuff. Oh, and by the way, if you donate on there, guess what? You get the show 2 days in advance from everybody else. Thank you all so much. It's patreon.com/metalforgeradio. Check it out and donate today. I love you guys. Thank you. All right, thanks to the sponsors. We're back with Steve Forbes from the Kentucky death metal band Created to Kill. So, how far off do you think the next album is?
Oh, it's hard to say. I can never.
It's a hard gauge, right?
Yeah, at a guess, I would say a year or two. We're probably about halfway writing process.
That's awesome. I know that seems like a long time, but
yeah, it's really hard for me to say because sometimes I'll bust out 9 songs in like 6 months, and then sometimes it takes me a year or two to come up with 2 or 3.
Right. Well, I mean, I think being a musician myself, I think that's part of the gig of you've got to impress yourself enough as well. Not just, you don't do it for just impressing other people. You've got to sit there and say, you know what, I really like this. I'm going to build on it. And if it's something that you can't build on, you might as well just scrap it.
You're right. I listen to our Death Construction album like all the time, just riding around in my car.
Right on, which actually brings me to my next set of questions here. Is you say you listen to the Death Construction album in your car. So Do you listen objectively or do you criticize the stuff that you think that you did wrong?
Probably objectively. I really don't try to, I don't know what the word is for it. I guess criticize it too much. It's over and done with.
Right. But you haven't but you don't always sit there and be like, I wish I did that differently, or I wish that lyric was something else. Well,
there's one song that got on the master and the cymbals didn't get put up you can't hear the cymbals hardly at all. But it was just one song, and there was no way to correct it before pressing. We were like on a tight schedule because we wanted to get them pressed before we went on tour. That was the first year we played the Las Vegas Death Festival. We're going all the way out west and all the way back, and we wanted copies of the CD. So we kind of just left that. You can hear the cymbals, but they're not quite as loud as the rest of the songs.
Right.
That's probably the only thing about that album that I didn't, that I probably criticized.
See, and that's one of the things you could always push it for a remastered version in the future.
Yeah, if that guy still has the copies,
and
I mean, surely he still has the master, but I'm not sure.
Definitely. That's another thing that I've noticed as life has evolved musically to the digital medium, along with being able to find musicians all over the world and under every rock and under every bridge. One of the other things I've noticed is the loss of information. People lose hard drives, people delete sessions after they're done, which, there's going to be a whole music generation that doesn't have the material for remaster stuff.
Yeah.
Which is so odd to me because it's like I've always wanted to be able to keep master copies of something in case I ever wanted to go back and change something or, even just remix it for my sake, for something that I could do and say, to hone skill or anything. There's going to be so many people that can't do that.
That's true.
Which is really interesting to me, I guess. Do you have a favorite place you like to perform? City or venue? Let's just go with that way.
I only had one chance to play there, but I really liked playing headliners.
Yes.
In Louisville. That was one of my favorite shows, but I mean, it was with Cannibal Corpse, so it's going to be a great show anyway. But.
Right. That is always a fun place to play. I've played there a few times in my career, and I've always... The first time I did it, I was like 19, and I'd been to shows there before that, where the plane was into the hillside beside it, and it's just so epic.
Yeah,
it's such a fun place. For anybody who's came through Louisville that listens to the show or is going to come to Louisville, check out a show at Headliners when you're able to, with all of this weirdness going on. If you had to choose between playing shows or writing albums, what would you do?
It'd have to be playing shows. It's just such a rush to be up there and jamming with my friends.
Right on. I get that. And it's the performance aspect of it. It's the attention of it, I think. The hey, look at me. I'm up here and I'm doing my thing, and this is what I've practiced so long and so hard to do.
Yeah.
So there've been a lot of major concert events throughout history. If you could pick one to play in your career, what would it be?
Oh my God. I don't really know. The only thing I could probably come up with is that Clash of the Titans tour a long time ago. That would have been cool.
Hell yeah. That's a good one for sure. It's actually a common answered question with that is Clash of the Titans.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the one with Megadeth and Anthrax and like Soundgarden or something like that.
Alice in Chains, I think.
Alice in Chains, yeah, that's it. Yeah, a lot of people answer that, which I think is really cool because being in the Midwest, I think that's one of the things that we don't necessarily look at the grunge bands and stuff like that to be the death of metal or anything. But it's just like, because we accept a lot of different music here.
Yeah.
As opposed to where people in the Bay Area thrash scene who accepted it at one time, they said, oh, well, they killed our scene and shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, I know they were labeled as grunge later, but when I first heard Alice in Chains, I never really even thought of them as different. They were just a different metal band to me.
Right. They're equally. I don't look at, personally speaking here, I don't look at necessarily the tone of your guitar as heavy. I look at subject matter and riffage to be the heavy parts. Especially, I'm a lyric hound when it comes to stuff like that. It could sound like, it could sound like Hank Williams and it could be heavy lyrically. The Clash of the Titans show, or tour for that matter, definite answer for a lot of people, and it's a good one. I like that. Do you have a favorite song you've ever written?
That I've written? It'd probably be Self-Inflicted Flame Engulfment on Death Construction. Guitar riffs on there. I've had some portions of those. I wrote them in high school. I carried those riffs around forever trying to find somewhere to put them.
Right on. I've done that. That's pretty cool. It's definitely, like I was saying earlier, you find the stuff that works, and if it takes a year or two to make an album, then there you go. So,
just in my case, it was a decade.
Oh, gosh. Right on. All right, I got one more break I'm going to take here, so just hang out, and we'll be right back.
Hey, guys. Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called The Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is The Wrestling Steve Show. And I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
So let's get into some general profile questions here. These are all about you as a person, music related for the most part, but still just about you, about Steve, because we're all people. These are the things that make us tick. Who do you wish you never saw perform live?
The Ramones.
Is there like an awesome story that goes with the reason why? Or did you not want to go and just went?
Not particularly, but they were opening for Pantera at Louisville Gardens years ago, and
that's weird.
I don't know. They had one song that I knew that they played on the radio all the time, and they played every song sounded the same, but they never played that song. I was like, why wouldn't you play the one hit that's always on the radio?
Right. Well, I think that's an issue with Louisville is instead of everywhere else, because Louisville has no real new rock stations. They have a ton of fucking classic rock stations.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I get it. Who would you want to meet that you've never met?
Oh, man. No way it could happen, but Dimebag would be awesome.
Definitely.
Dimebag Darrell from Pantera.
Shout out, definitely. Here's a hard one. Chili, beans or no beans?
Both.
Ah, yes. So you like the no bean chili, like the Skyline chili stuff?
Yeah, I like that and regular chili both.
Hell yeah. What was the last thing you watched on YouTube?
On YouTube, some muscle cars that my drummer showed me. He's like, I want this car. It's like the Charger from the Dukes of Hazzard, but it was like all souped up, had a big blower engine coming out of the top.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What is the worst album by your favorite band?
Oh, shit. To come up with a favorite band's hard enough. I guess maybe Cannibal Corpse and, I don't know, maybe Bloodthirst.
Is the worst album by them, in your opinion?
Yeah, kind of. It doesn't have anything that's super catchy to me, I guess.
Right on. I get that. There's tons of people that say Saint Anger. No, it's just the me being an asshole thing here.
Yeah, I can't do hardly anything in Metallica after the Injustice.
I get you. There's a lot. Yeah, I know tons of thrash people who are that way. So, what's your most embarrassing moment?
My most embarrassing moment, probably when we're opening up for Goat Whore at the Bulldog Cafe, and my distortion pedal that I was using at the time had a short in it, and it was cutting off and on.
Oh my god. That place, I don't know if it was the pedal that was the problem, because I think it was power surges at that place.
It could be. I kicked it across the stage and it started working, is all I know.
Yep, that sounds about right, because I was just on the air last week with Tony Dolan from Venom Inc., and we had talked about something to the similar, and it happened at Bulldog Cafe, where the guitar kept cutting in and out, and I think it was a power issue, honestly.
It could have been.
Because that was a brand new amp. Most overrated, out of 3 different categories you can choose from. Most overrated: musician, actor, or sports team?
I don't really do sports. Man, that's a tough question. I don't know. I guess I'll do actor. Brad Pitt.
I could see that. He just kind of plays the same guy a lot of times.
Yeah.
I could see that. What is a new skill you're learning?
Oh, Lord.
If anything.
Not much at the moment. I'm not really learning anything new. Just kind of being repetitive. Work. I mean, with the way things are right now, just go to work, come home.
Right. That's pretty much all that anybody really can do. I've stated several times on the show here, if it wasn't for being able to talk over the phone to people, probably be up shit creek, because all these on the radio were in-person interviews. So I get it.
Yeah.
What instrument would you like to learn how to play?
Yeah, I always wanted to play drums. I could play them a little, but I'd like to learn them a lot better.
Right on. What's your favorite color?
Green.
All right, I've got a couple more here. But before we get into it, do you have any shout-outs you want to give to anybody?
Yeah, I don't know if he listens, but Bob Bond in Louisville, that guy's been a supporter of us for decades, since we started pretty much.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Bob. I know him.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even when I was doing those festivals for Mayhem MMA, I did those. I don't know if you know that. He supported those a lot.
Right on. So yeah, definitely a shout out to Bob. And tell everybody how they can get a hold of Created to Kill.
Just go to createdtokill.com. There's a contact thing on there. You can click on, get my email, or you can go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We got, all the social media.
Hell yeah. You can go to the Bandcamp page, which is createdtokill.bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
You can purchase quite a few things there.
We have several of those EPs and stuff. The old stuff we have up there for free. You can just download for free.
Right on. Yeah, you've got, it looks like there's Sample of Destruction, Monarch to the Kingdom of Death. You've got the live at Central Illinois Metal Fest, and you've got both albums on there. So, and there's also, it looks like there's some merch that, people can go in there and they can buy a koozie or a shirt or a live DVD.
Yep.
Right on.
The live DVD, I'm not positive it's still up, but it's been on Chopblock TV on Amazon Fire and Roku for the past few months.
Hell yeah. So give that a view on there if it's still on there. So shit, yeah.
It's also free on YouTube somewhere. I think it's on Chopblock TV's YouTube.
what song or band do you never want to hear again?
The Ramones.
Somehow I knew that was going to be the answer.
Yeah, they just didn't impress me.
I get it, because I mean they're their own brand of punk. There's not quite another Ramones out there.
Well, when I seen them, every guy in the band looked like the same guy.
Right? Yeah, because they did. Now you said they were opening for Pantera, so
well, I was wrong about that. It was White Zombie, not Pantera.
Oh wow! So even crazier. So
yeah.
So that would have had to have been mid 90s then.
Oh yeah.
Wow, insane. What was your first concert?
How do I know that? I knew that was coming. Whitesnake and Kicks at Rub Arena in 1989.
You had backstage passes, didn't you? I'm kidding.
No, I was 15.
And I'm sure that's going to be the same answer to what is your biggest fear? Whitesnake and Kicks in 1989.
No. Really. Whitesnake and I don't know about Kicks, but Whitesnake really put on a pretty good show.
Right.
I still kind of dig them.
I could, yeah. I mean, they're not terrible.
My drummer Paul just went and seen them like 2 years ago, I think, in Cincinnati.
Definitely. So the real answer to the question, what is your biggest fear?
Hell, I don't know. Catching corona and dying.
Ooh. Yeah, especially now.
Yeah.
I mean,
man,
no zombies, no pirates. I don't know.
Nah, none of that stuff bothers me.
Right on. This is a pretty simple one for a last question. Denim or leather?
Denim.
Yeah, leather gets too damn hot.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love the leather jacket, denim. Steve, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate everything that you do and have done musically. You know, you've come out to see my shows when I was a promoter in Louisville a few times, and I hope to see you again at some more of them.
Hopefully there is another one.
Hopefully, you're right. Hopefully there is another one. I actually just updated that earlier this week on the website it says the Metal Forge Live, and it's just like on hiatus to COVID-19. I'm like, fuck, I hate to have to put that on there, but
yeah.
But I mean, it's what I had to do, unfortunately. So
yeah.
But hopefully none of the places that I go to are considered hot spots. So, sir, thank you so much. On the way out, give me a song of yours that you want me to play.
I always dug Murdered and Mutilated pretty good. It's got a good solo I did in the middle there.
All right. And
thanks for having me on.
Dude, no, thank you. Keep up the Kentucky death metal. It's fucking awesome. Here's for another 16 years of Created to Kill, because it's fucking cool. So from the Death's Construction album, this is Murdered and Mutilated.
Musicians, rejoice. Confused with all the modern and technical pedalboard selections? Look no further. Kentucky Hot Brown Pedalboards offer their homemade wooden and custom pedalboards for guitarists and bassists alike. Established in 2013, KYHBPB has helped support not only the local Louisville scene, but a large array of big and small players from across the entire country. More info can be found at KentuckyPedalboards.com.
What is your biggest fear? Whitesnake and Kicks in 1989.